Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Temple Beth Shalom. I'm Robert Davis, one of the rabbis.
I'm Rabbi Bear.
And we're glad that all of you can be here. Why don't we stand up and greet each other, welcome each other. There's a couple of new people in here that haven't been here before or haven't been here for a year, and welcome and greet each other. Page 11. Page 11.
Va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim mizot olah min hamidbar mizot olah mekuteret mor ulevona dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim.
We continue with the kindling of Shabbat candles and Kiddush. Page 2, I'm going to invite Al and Sharon to come on up and lead us in those blessings, beginning on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
And we continue in preparation for Kiddush on page 4.
Do the intro. Good. Please.
And there was evening,
I'll hold it. Don't you worry.
and there was evening, and there was morning, and the sixth day. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uv'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maseh v'reishit כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. L'chaim.
If they're making a l'chaim, we're going to turn to pages 12 and 13 for L'chuna Ranana as well as Psalm 96.
L'chuna Ranana l'Adonai. Naria letzur yishenu, nikadma fanav betoda, bizmirot naria lo. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruch shemo, basru miyom leyom yeshuato, sapru v'goyim kevodo, v'chol ha'amim niflotav. Ki gadol Adonai, umhulal me'od, norahu, al kol Elohim, ki kol Elohei hamim elilim, v'Adonai shamayim asan. Hod v'hadar lefanav, oz v'tiferet b'miktasho. Nai 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 nai
We now enter into page 20, Lechado D. We enter into this moment of love between God and the people of Israel, as the people of Israel would historically go out into the fields up in Sfat and welcome the Shabbat bride, and welcoming the time of Sabbath as if it were a bride at a wedding. We continue, page 20, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Lechadodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmi'anu. El hamiuchad Adonai echad, u'shemo echad l'shem ultiferet ve'litila. Lechadodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor הברכה מראש מקדם, נסוכה סוף מעשה. במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי, אורי. שיר דברי כבוד אדוני, עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמונה, עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We continue with Baruch Hu, the call to worship, page 28. We remain standing.
Yananai, 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 yananai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yananai, 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 yananai,
Page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokma poteach sharim, uvitvuna mishnei itim, u'makalif et hazmanim, u'misader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, u'ma'avir yom uvei layla, u'ma'avdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'chayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Haravi.
Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. The next prayer that we're going to do is the Ve'ahavta, which begins with this word love, and this is Shabbat Ahava, the Sabbath of love, for many different reasons. Among them, it's February 14th. But it is also on this Shabbat that we lovingly got Torah from God. And this particular prayer tells us that if we really want to express love, it's not just a feeling, it's about how we live and it's what we do. We chant together this affirmation of how we should live.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. This past weekend, I was in Washington, D.C. with 20 teenagers on Litaken, which is a program to teach teenagers how to bring their voices as Reformed Jews to Washington and to enact their values in the world. And, of course, next weekend is Mitzvah Day here at the synagogue, where we celebrate acts of kindness and doing acts of kindness as a community in the greater community. So as we turn to Michamocha on page 40, let's think about all those ways in which having freedom, in which both being freed from Egypt, which is mentioned in the first commandment, and receiving the Torah at Sinai, how we need to use that freedom to create a more just and peaceful and equitable world. And this idea that when we gained freedom, it was not just freedom from Egypt, but it's also freedom to. It's freedom to follow the commandments, to live an ethical life, and to enact these values in various ways in our lives. So together we sing Michamocha. As you can see, the accompanist has a night off this week, and so raise your voices strong with mine as we sing Michamocha. Yalai lai lai yalalai yalalai lai 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 yalai lai lai yalalai yalalai lai 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 yalalai lai lai yalai lai 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 yalalai lai 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 mi chamocha ba'alim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osefel, Nora tehilot osefel, Yalai la la yalalai yalalai la la la, Yalai la la yalalai yalalai la la, La 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 yalalai la la la, Yalai la 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 yalalai la la la. Ma'alechutecha rahu vanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam zeli anu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Page 42. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. This is the prayer that is said at night. Rabbi Bear and I were talking earlier today. I sang this song to my kids that we're gonna pray every night for many, many years, and now Rabbi Bear is using the same melody with his daughter, and it's this beautiful prayer, praying that all the people in the world, and especially in our lives, are protected by a sukkot shlomecha, by a sukkah of God's protection, of God's wholeness and peace. Hashkivenu, page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. 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 Amen.
We continue now with the central part of the prayer service, HaTefilah, the Avot V'Imahot, begins on page 46 and continues through our prayers, page 62. We're going to pray those prayers silently, or the prayers of your own hearts. I ask you to please rise, and when you complete your silent meditation, your own reflection, or through page 62, you're invited to sit down whenever you wish.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. If you're still davening, please don't feel rushed. Continue to daven. On page 62, create a pure heart within me. Let my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit. Then I will stand and sing out the power of your forgiveness. I will teach your love to the lonely. The lost will find their way home. Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth will declare your praise. The middle of page 62, these words, Yehiyu L'Ratzon, there's a beautiful melody I'd like to do and kind of call in response as you learn the melody, and as we pray that all of our prayers tonight have gone up and will be heard by the Holy One. So sing, I guess, after me. Yehiyu L'Ratzon Im refi. Im refi. This part's together. Vehegyon libi lefanecha. Let's try that again. Yehu leratzon. Im refi. Vehegyon libi lefanecha. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. May the words of my mouth together and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Adonai, tzuri vego ali. Adonai, tzuri vego ali.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This is, as I mentioned before, the Shabbat Ahava, the Shabbat of love. Not just because it's Valentine's Day, but because it celebrates the love between God, exactly, and a child, between God and all of humanity, evidenced by the giving of the Ten Commandments that we'll read tomorrow in the Torah. And those 10 commandments were given to all those standing at Mount Sinai in the past, in the present, and in the future. The Midrash says that the Torah was given not only to all the people that were standing there, but to all the letters of the alphabet. The Aleph, the Bet, the Gimel, all of the letters of the alphabet as well, besides the people, received the Torah. All letters known and unknown. All letters needed to spell Moses and Miriam, to spell you, to spell me. All the letters, the LGBTQ+, all of the letters and all of God's creations, no matter the spelling. As a rabbinic student, we were required to deliver 2 big sermons in rabbinic school, the 3rd-year sermon and the 5th-year sermon. This sermon to our classmates and our teachers, which is always quite difficult. And so in their honor and out of a place of love, tonight I'm going to share a slightly altered version of my thoughts from my sermon that I gave 30 years ago on this Shabbat. My friend, Rabbi Mark Blumenthal, a rabbinic student who I called yesterday to see how he was doing, began to step up to the reader stand. It was his first time to give a sermon. It was 1979. And the senior rabbi of his student congregation was Chaim Stern, which is a significant name in the Reform movement. And Chaim Stern was 3 times my friend's age. And as he was walking up to the reader stand, Yom Kippur, to deliver his sermon, Rabbi Stern went and beckoned him over, and he pulled him close to him, and he whispered in Rabbi Blumenthal's ear, "Let go of ego. Let go of ego." This week, our Rabbi Moses, the deliverer of the 10 Commandments, whispers to all of us with his impeded speech, "Let go of ego." Moses provides for us a paradigm of a person who wants to pursue humility. The Torah reads, "Va'ish Moshe anav me'od mikol adam asher al pnei adama." Moses was more humble than any other person on the face of the earth. The Midrash teaches us that humility is to be valued. And one way to proceed to humility is to honestly and modestly reflect on our abilities and on our diversity. The following midrash brings us closer to an understanding how Moses' difficulty with language allowed him and maybe enabled him to be considered so humble. We arrive in this week's Torah portion at the summit of the book of Exodus. It's perhaps one of the most important moments of the Torah, of our tradition, maybe in the world as we know it. Amidst eerie circumstances, the law is revealed to Israel. The words of the divine proclamation known as the Aseret HaDibrot, the Ten Commandments, become chiseled in our hearts. The flash of lightning, the crack of thunder, and the blast of the shofar are over. The mountain becomes calm. And then Moses goes down to the people and spoke the holy words. Anochi Adonai Elohecha. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Lo yiyeh lecha Elohim ikarayim al panai. Suddenly the people gasped. Akarayim? Did Moses say ikarayim or did he say acherim? You shall have no important gods beside me or no other gods beside me. The desert wanderers began to panic. What about the golden calf? What about all this talk about monotheism? Only one God. Surely Moses must have made a mistake. What did Moses mean by saying no other important gods? Who are these other gods that Moses could be referring to? Someone interrupted the confusion. I knew all along that there were other gods, but our God just doesn't want us to raise these gods up to the same level. It is clear. Otherwise, Moses surely would have said, Acherim, no other God. But no, I distinctly heard him say, Lo yiyeh lecha Elohim ikarayim al panai. You shall have no other important gods beside me. I was standing right there. I was the first among the 600,000 that heard these holy words. I have the correct version of these words planted firmly in my memory. But someone asserted, I do not mean to challenge you or Moses, and certainly not HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God. But Moses was kaved peh ukaved lashon. Moses was slow of speech and slow of tongue. He had a speech impediment. Maybe you misunderstood him. Yeah, sure, said the man standing on top of his own self-righteousness. I heard what he said, and now I'm telling you that I am right, and you are most certainly wrong. But another voice interrupted from behind the crowded letters of the Torah. We already know something about what Moses might have said from his childhood. The voice continued its midrash. One day, when Moses was a child in the court of the Pharaoh, he playfully took the crown from the Pharaoh's head and placed it on his own head. The Pharaoh's counselors were dismayed. They called it high treason, and the priests declared it a bad omen. All agreed that little Moses should be put to death before it was too late. Fortunately, one advisor, the angel Gabriel, in disguise, suggested a less radical solution. Not that one, but this one. He said, set 2 plates before the child, one piled high with gold and precious stones, the other with burning coals. Should the child Moses reach for the gold, it would bear out that he indeed harbored suspicious intentions and that he had to be killed. But if instead he reached for the hot coals, then it would simply mean that he was attracted by shiny objects. This was done, and Moses indeed stretched out his hand to touch the gold and precious stones. But the angel Gabriel guided his hand away from the stones and from the gold and placed it upon the hot coal and lifted it and brought it to Moses' mouth. Thus Moses was saved, but his tongue was burned. That's what the Midrash says. From both the Torah text and the Midrash, we learn that Moses had some sort of difficulty with language. Our biblical commentators have discussed at length whether Moses' speech impediment was a medical problem or was it a matter of ineloquence and unpersuasiveness. The commentator Ibn Ezra suggests that it must have been a physical impediment. Since God controls even bodily handicaps, God certainly can overcome the problem of non-fluency in a language. Maimonides asserts that Moses did not wish to fulfill the mission which God had set out for him. Moses protests, saying, "I am not a man of words. Surely God has someone better to send on this mission than I." Moses claims he is not a man of words. Does this mean that he was unintelligible or inarticulate or maybe just humble? Each time we use language to exchange ideas and feelings, our words, our tone, our syntax, our grammar, all of them color and shadow how we perceive others and how they perceive us. Letting go of ego requires that we let go of our insistence that our subjective understanding of language is somehow objective. Can anyone truly grasp the full passion behind what we are attempting to express? Our brains race fast and or slow, and we can become kaved peh ukaved lashon, slow of speech and slow of tongue. How often do we understand, really understand what others mean and what others feel? And how often do others truly understand what we mean and what we are feeling? Most of us are afraid to face the fear, loneliness, and sometimes pain of understanding each other. We get so wrapped up in trying to make ourselves important that our tongues are all burned as we reach for the crown. We are the continuation of a heritage, of a tradition of those who've been humbled in their ability to communicate. We learn from the Torah that Moses was of impeded speech. Isaiah was of unclean lips, and the prophet Amos was heavy of speech. Missions in our tradition, missions of greatness, were not always granted to the silver-tongued, quick-speaking preacher. And in our own history, we know that oftentimes neither the mission is great nor the person famous. All of us are in some way or another on a mission. Thus, we need to empathize with Moses and to reflect on our own use of language. As a small child of 8 years old, I remember standing bravely in my little Cub Scout uniform, Pack 327, Den 4. I remember standing in my uniform in front of hundreds of doors selling tickets to the Boy Scout exhibition. Like most people, I stumble on that word. And like most people, I rationalize my stumbling as a successful sales technique, which it was. I am fortunate. I am able to speak, hear, read, and write, and cannot begin to imagine what it would be like if I couldn't. But in my own way, like all of us, I am heavy of language, and it can be frustrating and lonely. The honest self-reflection of our ability and challenges in our language and in life. If we hearken to Moses, this honest reflection can lead us to humility rather than self-importance. A meaningful life is not determined by our ability to manipulate language or manipulate others. Moses had no desire to raise himself up to the level of God. He didn't want to be a messenger of God. Moses was modest about his ability to communicate, to understand language. He reached for the crown without ulterior motives. Moses taught us with his life and with his words that we are not to raise ourselves up in self-aggrandizement. And that's why the verse reads, Lo yiyeh lecha Elohim acharim al panai. You shall have no other gods beside me. may we accept all the letters of the alphabet and not raise ourselves up above others regardless of how they spell their lives. May the humility of Moses be a model to us. May the wisdom of our tradition be our teacher. And may we be inspired for just a moment to let go of ego. Amen.
Amen. We'll continue on page 253. Shkoach, Rabbi.
you.
Printed in your booklet are the words of those in our community in need of healing, and we will add our own, the names of those we are praying for as well. Whether these people are in need of physical healing or emotional or psychological healing, or perhaps we mention even ourselves in a time of healing in our lives. So we'll go around. (253) Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And now, in preparation for a moment of Shekianu, a moment where we recognize how blessed we are to reach to this moment, to this season, I'm going to ask everyone in the congregation, not yet, but in a moment, to, as you're able to, please rise. But first, without embarrassing you too much, anyone who's never been to Temple Beth Shalom before, I'll ask you to please rise so that we can recognize you. First time at Temple Beth Shalom. Anyone who comes here once a year on vacation,
Welcome.
welcome. We're glad that you're here. Welcome home. Welcome home. And if this is your first time in Temple Beth Shalom, there we go, a college student who's working on a project. Glad you're here. If you have been blessed, stay standing, because we're all going to stand. If you have been blessed to experience in your life love, if you have never experienced love and you would like to experience love, if you're not standing after either of those two, this is not the right congregation. We admit it. This is love. And so out of a place of love, we count our blessings that we're able to reach it to this moment, words of Shekianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
We remain standing and turn to page 282. I'll ask any of the children in the congregation who'd like to come on up here and be close to the Torah. Children of any ages, especially the young ones, the smaller ones are welcome, but any size, shaped child that would like to come on up, you're welcome to come on up here. We turn toward the east for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We take a few moments now to remember all those who came before us, those who may have died in years past at this season, those who may have died in recent days. As a congregation, we remember the more than 6 million men, women, and children that were murdered in the Holocaust. Remember all those who died making sure our homeland Israel exists for us and for Jews everywhere. Remember all those who perished in the name of liberty, freedom, justice, and righteousness. And remember all the innocent victims of hatred, ignorance, terrorism, and of natural disasters. On this Shabbat, we remember friends and family whose yortzites are being observed and whose names have lovingly been inscribed on plaques which are in our alcove of remembrance. We remember Samson Avedon, Saul Bleemer, Clara Reese Bloom, Mark Allen Cannon, Estelle Cohen, Jack Norman Dolberg, Leon J. L., George J. Feingold, Ben Frackman, Simon Frankel, Edith Gertner, Leon Groper, Francis L. Hoffman, Norman S. Jaffe, Benny Kleinfeld, Max Kraus, Vivian Levinson, Louis Merwitzer, Sylvia Myers, Julia Press, Melvin J. Richard, Lester A. Russin, Francis Shapiro, David Silvers, Helen Snyder, Isidore Stein, Manya Suskin, Harold Zinn. And we remember as well those whose yortzites are being observed at this time on this Shabbat. We remember Betty Adler, Marcos Basuk, Molly Bergman, Martha Bernstein, Gertrude Beal, Alan Bildner, Sid Cohen, Leatrice Dreiling, Dorothy Gann, Priva Goldman, Richard Green, Moises Yuskevich, Magda Kalman, Eula Lassinger, Esther Liebsen, Abraham Leader, Ari Luzhner, Maya Lachovsky, Julius Makransky, Alan Meyerhoff, Barbara Miller, Ruth Meyerson Morheim, Samuel Nash, Shepard Nelson, Sonia Nolman, Della Provis, Mildred Robbins, Sidney Rosen, Miriam Shore, William Sinreich, Rose Soren, Rose Ashman Strednick, Maurice Sussman, Arlene Vanier, Helen Wagner, Gerald Wynn, Evelyn Friedman Zarin. And remember as well those who died in recent days and their families remain in the Shloshim of mourning, in the 30-day period of mourning. We remember Doris Oleski, Pearl Rosenberg, Maurice Cornelissen, Sue Rose Samuels, Lois Hildebrandt, Andrea Pollock, Lila Rosthal, Maurice Glazier, Elliot Grossman, Sonia Manis. If there's a name that I haven't mentioned, you're in a period of mourning, you're saying Kaddish, I'll ask you to please rise and mention those names out loud. And please remain standing as we're going to join together for Kaddish in just a moment. Alan? Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of all the righteous in our lives be a blessing as we rise and with one voice recite words of Kaddish found on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, b'yalma divrach erutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agala ivzman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechamata da'amiran v'yalma v'yimru. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru, amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all of you who mourn, comfort all who are bereaved, and send healing to all who are saddened, as together we say, amen. Please be seated. Invite up Alan Pecor, a member of our board, to share greetings on behalf of the congregation. He is substituting for the name listed in your brochure. Alan's got experience as a past president of his congregation in the homeland up north. He's experienced.
Wow, that's a great commercial. Thank you, Rabbi. And welcome everybody, and Shabbat Shalom on behalf of the board. I welcome you to our congregation. A rabbi mentioned in his sermon that he did his first sermon in front of Rabbi Chaim Stern, who was a pretty famous and major person in Reform Judaism. And I have a Chaim Stern story that I need to share with you. I was a president of a new congregation in New Jersey. It was very small. We had not yet had a permanent rabbi, and because of our proximity to New York, the Reform movement sent us famous rabbis every Friday night to lead our service. And it was the tradition as the first president, and I was very young, I was in my 20s, the rabbi would come to my house for dinner. And Rabbi Stern was one of the guests, and he knocked on my door. I opened the door, and he said to me, "Son, is your father home?" We both had a great laugh over that one. In any event, you all have this brochure, and it tells you a little bit about what's going on in our temple. The most important thing being that this following weekend is Mitzvah weekend, and we hope that all of you will be participating with us in the many good deeds that we will be doing in our community. Other than that, please read this, and it's got lots of things happening in our temple. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for being here.
So we're going to conclude our services since our father's at home, right? Yes, we have a question.
Yes.
It's today?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, this is the yard site.
Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may their memory be a blessing.
Thank you.
And we're going to, before we head out for the Oneg, we're going to conclude with the singing of Adon Olam. It's on page 321. Please rise.
Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yetzir nivra leit nasa vechefto kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'achare kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora Vehu haya, vehu hove, vehu yeh betifara, vehu echad, ve'en sheni, lehamshilo lehachbira, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו, הפקיד רוחי, בעת ישן והעירה, ואם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbos.